Inflation has fallen, matching its lowest level on record back in 2000. The rate for December fell to 0.5%, pushed down by the lower cost of food and fuel. It might be good news for shoppers, but as our economics correspondent Andy Verity explains, some people are worried about the long-term effect of low inflation on the UK's economy.
In Spitalfields wholesale grocery market in East London, you can see with your own eyes why inflation's hit a record low. Take potatoes, where a bumper harvest has left producers with far more potatoes to sell, but no more buyers than before. To get rid of them, sellers have to slash prices.
It's been an absolute ideal year for growing potatoes. Every potato that's been planted throughout the United Kingdom has produced an amazing yield. Consequently, there's been an oversupply to the market, and with that, the prices have reduced dramatically.
In a market like this, you can see supply and demand in action. Supply is the amount of goods they have. If there are lots of tomatoes, the buyers who come here know that they can bargain down the price of tomatoes. Demand is just the number of buyers. The fewer buyers there are, the less demand there is, and the more bargaining power they have. That meant buyers could cut the price we pay for potatoes by 7.1%. The same thing happened to food generally, with prices down 1.9%. And an even more plentiful supply of petrol brought prices down by nearly 23%.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's going to save me at least £200 or £300 a month with the distance that I travel.
I would normally put £10 in a week to get round, but now I can afford to put £20 in.
It's cut my fuel bill in half compared to what it was before the price went down like this.
The Bank of England's Monetary Policy Committee is supposed to keep inflation between 1% and 3%. So, for the first time, the governor will have to write to the Chancellor explaining why it's got too low, and it could get lower.
By and large, these figures are good news in the short term for British households. It's largely caused by lower petrol prices, lower food prices. That means your pound is going to stretch farther, lower prices at the pump in the shops. The issue is to make sure that this doesn't become more generalized, that we don't see low or falling prices more generally, because a little bit of inflation is good for the economy.
Prices of goods and services are still up just about by 0.5%. But if you look at goods alone, prices actually fell by 1%. If plentiful supply of food and petrol continues, they may get even cheaper. Andy Verity, BBC News.